Hello and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play LOTRO with me, Balthelion, and once again we are at Eregion in Eregion, obviously. And we're going to carry on with our quest with the Rangers. So last time we managed to successfully navigate around this horrible maze in Minas Elendur and the dungeons of Dunland, which is underneath. We managed to find all the secret rooms inside there and unlock that deed, so God help us. Thankfully the rest of the epic book is pretty nice and simple after this. So, we need to speak to Radnet.
Halbarad can tell you more, but I agree with him. What chance is this?
Halbarad can tell you more, but as he said to the rest of us, what chance is it that puts a jewel crafter right in our path just at this moment? He is right. It is a small chance surely, but a happy one. Talk to Halbarad here at Eregion to learn more about his plan. So we're going to get a special helmet out of this. But it might not be of interest in terms of stats. We'll see.
Our only aim is to help the heir of Isildur in any way that we can.
Think of this, Halbrand. The line of Isildur is recognised by the heirlooms of that house. The shards of Narsil, now reforged, the sceptre of Animenus, long kept in Rivendell, and the ring of Barahir, almost lost in Thorkel, but regained. I believe you have heard the story. And now this grey company rides to the defence of Aragorn in the southern lands increasingly under the sway of the Uruk. Danger crowds around us upon every side, but our own safety must be secondary to that of Aragorn. Imagine, therefore, if a member of our company is slain or taken captive by the enemy. If that man bore a ring of the same description as the ring of Barahir, would that not give his captor pause? I have therefore made this proposal to Funi Gemcutter, to craft rings so like to the ring of Barahir, based on Candave's description, that should any of this company fall into the hands of the enemy, it may sow confusion into his mind. This confusion may buy the true heir precious time. Tell me when you are ready, and we will go with Funi to the forges he will use.
It is time.
It is time, Halbrand. Funi Gemcutter will craft rings for every ranger in the company, and we will need to be on guard for any possible danger. So again, this is a solo quest, and if you're doing this in a group, you'll need to briefly jump out of Fellowship.
A skilled jewel crafter has crossed our path, and Halbarad has devised a curious plan for him. He wants imitations made of the ring of Barahir borne by Aragorn for each Dunedain in our company.
So we are at the ring forges at Mirabel. So speak to Halbrand. Funi Gemcutter has been working hard within, melting gold with which to fashion quality imitations of the ring borne by Aragorn, our chieftain. Candave, learned in lore as he is, described the ring to Funi, and the dwarf has pledged that his reproductions will deceive all but the most studious observer. What is this? Hoy! You there! The work goes well, Halbrand. Already some of the rings have been made, and they are identical to the description with which my father was provided. But the gold is running low. Very little gold is needed for each ring, of course, but my father can only use small quantities of the material when it is melted, or imperfections will arise. Bring more coffers of gold to me from where they are being stored. So, the coffers you retrieved from Minas Elendur are in the corner there, Halbrand. Which corner? There we are. So we're using some of the ancient relics from that maze that we were in last episode. Carry that over here. So at least our expedition was not in vain. Got some use out of it. Fuzi receives the gold with an appraising look. The ring making is going well? Good. I gave the jewelsmith a description of the ring of Barahir as I remembered it, and if he has the skill he claims to have, his imitation should be suitable. Elrahir wanted me to send you to him, if you had a moment. He was contemplating our plans beneath a tree in the courtyard to the north of here, if you would speak with him. So we need to go find our way to the north, so obviously there is no door to the north, but we need to go... Actually no, sorry, I'm thinking that's north. I'm getting lost. This is literally north. So, speak to him. The crafting of the rings sought by Halbrand goes well, Holobrand. Good. If these preparations give our enemies even the slightest pause, the time they will take to be counted 5 and 7 times in value. Our hare pauses for a moment, thinking, and then takes you into his confidence. Before we left Ladris, my father gave to me messages for Aragorn, confident that he would understand them. But I too understand their meaning, and that understanding fills me with worry. He bade me to remind Aragorn of the words of the seer Malbuff, and of the paths of the dead. Yeah, so massive spoilers for later in the story when we actually go to the paths of the dead, but hey-ho. I will tell you of... ... Suddenly a shout breaks the silence, and Elwahir leaps to his feet. What was that? Someone is trouble! Where are they? Where are we going? We're going west. Who's in danger? Hello? An exhausted ranger stands before you, his breath ragged and uneven. Holobrand, a party of warring Uruks has climbed the path to this place, and I have seen others in the distance. It will not be long before they arrive. Halvas grabs your arm, desperate to tell you something else. Goladir stayed behind to hold them back. Help! Help him! Go quickly and help Goladir. I will help Holobrand. Go and stand with Goladir. So to the east. There we go, he's surrounded. Yoink! Ta-da! Backup has arrived. Despair not, Holobrand. We will defeat these Uruks, or we will delay them for as long as is necessary for the remainder of our company to complete the task for which we have come to these forges. I have told you once already, Uruk. You will not leave this place alive. Ha! A good joke. You two, teach them the dangers of boasting to Kuftak of the Ninkov. Right, engage. Not literally engage the Guardian skill. Right. Get some AoE going on these two boys. Goladir's hitting them on the right anyway, so... Okay, he's pretty much dead. Right, spank him with the hammer. Donk. Is that the best you can manage? You impudent! I thought I smelled man-flesh here. Or was that the stench of Ninkov? So good! What are you doing here? The Ninkov have this in hand. That is not what I see. Show these weaklings your bare teeth, my Camglock. The Camglock will have man-flesh this day. So there's two bands of Uruks that are kind of having a bit of a dispute here. And now they want to shit on us instead. Ha ha ha! Now, my Ninkov, attack! You'll be the ones to slay these foes. So they're trying to score points over each other by being the ones to actually kill me and Goladir. Which is obviously not working. Together, we can slay them, Kuftak. We must put aside our differences today. You're right, Sargud. There are only two of them. We'll rip them asunder. Goladir and Holobrand are not alone, vile ones. What can you hope to do? You'll be the first to die. Great company! Attack! There we go. So now we just have a massive Leroy. And some of our named chaps have joined us. And now we get to just like massively gang up on these two idiots. There we go, one of the leaders is dead. We'll put both of these Uruk clans into disarray. There we go, I'll tank him and turn him away from you guys so you can hit him from behind. Let that be a lesson to you. Together the strength of the Dunedain cannot be overcome. According to Fusi Gemcutter, his father's work is going well and smoothly. With no more interruptions, I feel that we will soon see an end to this delay. Halbrand laughed softly, a sound that has been missing from the Grey Company, unnoticed until now. I say delay, but I feel better for having a secret held in reserve. Let our foes mill about in confusion, while the true heir of Isildur makes stealth his ally. It is good to be doing something.
May this work prove to have been unnecessary in the end. Fervently I hope it is so.
It is done, Holobrand. I hope that this was just a momentary delay that we will never have needed. But in the sad event that one of our friends is slain or captured by the enemy, perhaps his Bebarahir will buy our chieftain Aragorn some precious seconds. All of our struggles are for him, for the return of the heir of Isildur, the return of the king of Gondor. We must soon be off again. Our destiny awaits us in the southern lands. So we're going to get 3 different helmets, so there'll be a light, heavy and a medium option. But that's not quite as good as what I've got from the Darnarber Good Raid. So.
Single hesitation on the part of Aragon's foes could make the difference.
If we are fortunate, none of the rings of Barahir, borne by the rangers of our company, will need to serve the purpose for which they were crafted. Even so, I am glad to have them in the event they become necessary. A single moment of hesitation on the part of Aragorn's foes could make the difference. It is time again to ride. Let us cross south into the northern stretches of Dunland. The plains of Enedwaith will be the next stop on our journey. We will take a rest once we cross into the lands of Fordorith in northern Enedwaith. Dagorus will select the location, and you should speak with Lothrandir when we arrive at Edgehead Dagorus to learn the lay of the land. So this next chapter is what will send us down into the new region. So from here, we want to be going south from Eregion, which will take us down into the wide lands of Enedwaith down there. So the easiest way to do this is we kind of need to be south of the river. So if you can do it, get a swift horse to Mirabel. We can take a little cross across the roads to where the library instance is, which is where this tower is, and you can kind of like follow this green path down there. Alternatively, you can go anywhere down here in Eregion and cross the river that way. So what we will do, I might as well do it on camera, I guess. Hopefully I can mithril coin it. So there we go. So we can mithril coin down to Mirabel. And then when we arrive there, we don't need to ride all the way up the top of the mountain. Although, to be fair, actually, we might as well go to where the stable master is, because we'll need to come down the other side. So this is going to take us up, not literally up to the very top of the mountain, where the various quest givers are for this part of the map. But it seems, yeah, Holobrand hasn't unlocked the swift travel automatically to this place, either because he hasn't been to the stable master or he hasn't completed enough quests in the region. I don't know which. Maybe we'll find it's just I haven't touched the stable master, which seems to be the case. So we can speak to him anyway.
What do you need?
There we go. Right. So from here, we want to head south past the stable master. So if we go over here, so over there, that is where the library instance is. If you're going to the front door rather than necessarily just going by the instance join. So we can come across here and we can cross over the river in this little shallow point because we've got a passageway up the far side. We just jump away across the river here, and then once we're on this side we can mount back up, and then we can turn left and basically wander up this slope. But you should be able to get across at various points over there to the southeast as well, but you just need to be aware of the fact that certain places are going to have cliffs. So you can probably cross at the top of the waterfall there, but you're not obviously going to be able to cross down in this bit because it's too high, too steep. So we're going to go up here, and eventually you're going to see, instead of these guys being grey because they're only level 51, we're going to find that sooner or later these guys are going to be a much higher level and a bit angrier. So if we keep going up here, we should be able to shimmy up the cliff over this bit. So there we go. So these guys are now level 61. So Enedwaith, when it came out, was originally like a just level 65 region because it came out after Mirkwood. But since then, it's kind of been like level scaled, so it starts a bit lower, so it covers the same level 60 to level 65 level range that Mirkwood does now. So there we go. So we're in the Enedwaith region, although we're kind of ping-ponging back. There we go. So we're going to Eregion, which is... Oh, I'm being ganked. How dare you, sir? Can't you see I'm trying to record here? Alright. Let's spank him then. So obviously I'm level 64. I'm not far off level 65 already, so I've already leveled up quite a bit anyway. But I'll probably stick on a Stone of the Tortoise for the region. So we're going to Eregion, which is where that horse head stable master is. So pretty much we're going in the same direction. The other thing we might need to be aware of is... Oh, hello. Angry wolves. We need to be aware of those too. So this region is going to have pretty much the same tier of mats. It'll be level 6. So like Ikazad Skull and all that. We won't get the tier 7 mats until we get in and around Dunland, which is the Isengard expansion, which will be the region after this. So we've only got one more region to go, and hopefully it won't be too long. So right, mount back up, and we should be able to go pretty much in the direction of where the horse head is. If in doubt, you can pretty much hug these hills. It should take you pretty much where you need to go. And you can't really miss it because it's going to be like a big ruins on top of the hill. So let's just avoid most of these guys that are spawning in, because probably no one's been through this particular area in a while. So most of the mobs probably despawned. Yeah, the top of the hill here, it should zigzag a little bit. Yeah, they can see the road now. This is the road we could have took if we were being sensible. But right up the top here, there we go, there's some ruins. There'll be a stable master we can unlock. There's going to be a milestone as well, which might be useful because we're going to be starting to quest around here. So if we maybe mark that one, because I won't need that one anymore. So talk to stable master.
How can I be of service?
We can talk to the rangers, and we've got some quests here as well for picking up for normal questing, but we'll save that till next time.
The men of Dunland are a wild people, and they care little for the Dunedain.
The road south is a long one, Holobrand. You should know something of this land and its people. The men of Dunland are a wild people, and they care little for the Dunedain, and not at all for the men of Rohan. They have warred with the Rohirrim and covered their lands. It is their strongly held belief that those lands belong to the men of Dunland. They are proud and fierce, quick to anger and slow to forgiveness. They tolerate no weakness and are suspicious of outsiders. During my time here in the Southlands, it seemed to me that these men had no identity as Dunlendings, thinking of themselves instead as members of particular clans dominated by strong, willful leaders. Dagras has already met with a member of one such clan, Wadu of the Ukluf. He has set aside his suspicions for the moment, and you might learn something of his people by speaking with him. So, is he around here, or there he is?
You have come with these men. You are not one of them.
You have come with these men, but you are not one of them. The warning I gave to this man, this Dagras, I give to you. My people will not allow you to interfere with their lives. You may pass through these lands, but you cannot stay. Strength only do they respect. Strength such as mine, or my father, Suvurk. Even my sister, Nona, wields the sword, and I wager she does so with greater skill than any of these Devodiad. So Nona's a character that's going to be a really common character for a massive chunk of the story going forward, so don't be surprised to see her name mentioned, or her family.
The Akluth clan will tolerate your presence, but others will be hostile.
So we're going to have a new chapter to pick up here then, so I think we'll stop there then, and next episode Hopefully we can find Benji to come and do some levelling with us, and we will start levelling through the region of Enedwaith. So we'll be doing mostly landscape questing, but then slowly weaving in the remainder of this epic book as we go through the new region. So until then, see you guys later.